Welcome back, people of Wraith. Now, before I get started, I always tell you guys, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This time, I also want to add, please be sure to share this. I really want to get as much eyes on this as possible. Hopefully, we can reach someone at LSS to look over this thing that I'm trying to introduce to Living Legends. Now, I really like Living Legends as a format. So I want it to keep alive. I want us to be able to play it even to a competitive degree. So be sure to share this. Hopefully we can get someone to see this from LSS. Go ahead and share it to James White, Brian Gottlieb, your uncle at LSS. Call them up. Tell them to look at this video. Tell them what I have proposed. Now, what's the main problem that I think is part of Living Legends? Well, I think there's two big ones. The main one that I'm trying to address with this proposed change of Living Legend is the banned cards. To me, it felt very weird how much banned cards we have in Living Legend. Now, I know cards like Cracker's Aether Vein never had a chance to see the daylight in any format, and then it became good in Living Legends and got completely banned. Rosetta Thorn, I don't think deserved to be banned, but currently is. If you wanna check out the story of Cracker's Aether Vein, there's plenty of YouTube videos explaining what happened to it. Check the description down below. I'll link all three of these videos. But essentially, you were able to do some crazy things in Living Legend Verdants with Cracker's Aether Vein and other AMP cards. Now, Dash.io, this is the second problem that I think this proposed change will help. Dash.io has a crazy amount of power cards and stubby hammers, high octane, Art of War, Cash In, Toma Fandel. These are all crazy powerful cards. And I think if we implement this change, it can fix both of these problems using cards that are banned that I don't think should be, as well as not having all these crazy power cards. Now, I didn't come up with this solution by myself. I'm an ex Yu-Gi-Oh player. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Flesh and Blood is just way better. But Yu-Gi-Oh recently released a new format called Genesis, which has a lot of changes to their original game. But the one really cool part I found is that they have certain cards on a point list, and each deck is allocated 100 points. So if you want to use the first card, Abyss Dweller, and it costs you 100 points, that's the only card you can use from the entire list. You've allocated all your 100 points to that one card. I think the Living Legend format can kind of adapt this, but make it a lot simpler. We're going to use 10 points. Now, all the cards, everything I say is subjected to change. You know, if LSS does pick this up and they do like this idea, I 100% expect the point system to be changed. Maybe it could go to 50. Maybe it can go to 5. You know, that's the awesome thing about this change is that the points should be fairly easy to fix. I think 10 points is a good baseline. And at 10 points, I put all of the banned cards that were banned in Living Legend. To me, if you want to run these banned cards, you should be able to run them, but not in tandem with other cards that cost points. Now, I also added Bloodshed Escalator on here because I personally think the card is crazy overpowered, but let me know in the comments. Do you guys think it's OP? Do you guys think it shouldn't even be worth 10 points? I mean, to me, Rosetta Thorn is not as strong as Bloodshed Escalator, so it's kind of crazy that it got banned, but we still have Bloodshed Scaletta on the format of LL. But I put it here because I think it's super strong. Now, other cards worth 5 points. Zephyr Needles. To me, if you want to run 2 Zephyr Needles, you should be able to. Or maybe you can run 1 Zephyr Needle, 1 Kodachi, and use your 5 points towards something else. Cards like Stubby Hammers, which is like a demand Art of War whenever you want it. Cash In and Deadwood Dirge, I think should be worth 5. But if you guys think these cards should be lower or higher, you know, let me know in the comments. I think I would love to hear what other people have to say about this type of point allocation to these cards. Now, 3 points. I think these cards are all very powerful, but you should be able to have a playset of these. But if you do, you only essentially have 1 point left. So that means no banned weapons, no banned equipment. You'll have your 1 point, and that's pretty much it. Now, I think this solves things like the crazy Dash IO combos, as Art of War, Tome, High Octane are all worth 3 points, even Cash In worth 5 points. Channel the Millennium Tree is here for 3 points, so if you want to run Cracker's Aetherbane, you don't have any points left for Channel the Millennium Tree. Succumb to Temptation and Call should be worth 3. And then cards like Oakenold and Crippling Crush should be worth 3. If you want 2 Oakenold and 1 Crippling Crush, that should be allowed, but maybe you just want 3 Crippling Crush and no Oakenold. And I think Awakening is going to be here too, as this system allows every card to be legal pretty much. But I think if we have Awakening at 3 and it has 0 points, I think it could be a little crazy, even though Awakening has not seen play. And the most recent star of the show list that I've been seeing that pretty much it got cut. I think with something like this where there's no banned cards, there's only like a point system, I think certain cards are gonna have to be allocated certain points just so you can't mix them, with 3 Crippling Crush and 3 Awakening. That would be pretty crazy. Electromagnetic Somersault I think should also be worth 3 points. I think it's a powerful card, but I don't think it should be 10 points or anything higher. And then for 1 points, Count Your Blessing. I think we should be able to play Count Your Blessing. 9 of them would be 9 points. But if you're running Count Your Blessing, you can't run Crown of Seeds. Things like Belittle and Plunder Run are powerful, but I don't think they're worth more than 1 point. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Rampant Growth Life, I'm only putting this at 1 just for like the Quaker's Aetherbane combo. I think that if you're running Rampant Growth Life, that should stop you automatically from running Aethervanes, and vice versa. If you're allocating your 10 points on Cracker's Aetherbane, you can't run Rampant Growth and you can't run Channel the Millennium Tree. And I put Tome of Aetherwind here because I don't like Kano, so I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have to be here. I'm just not a big fan of Kano. But that pretty much wraps it up, guys. I do think this point allocation system to give cards points and only be able to have 10 points for your Living Legends deck could be a step in the right direction. Like I said, please be sure to like, comment, most importantly, share. Share this to James White, share this to Brian Gottlieb, anybody at LSS. Hopefully we can get some feedback, because I think it's a step in the right direction towards Living Legend. If you go to the LSS website, Living Legend is under special formats, not classic constructed. And I do think Living Legend should have a place in the game. And I think the way it's been going is not what the community would want for it. Hopefully these changes can one day be active in Living Legend, but that's not for me to say. That's only for LSS to say. That's pretty much it, guys. Let me know in the comments any cards you think should be allocated points and how many points. Let me know if you think this idea sucks or if you think it's pretty good. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.